Right. Well, so what's next in Latin America? Like, what are the next elections and other social movement contests that people should be watching for?
Yeah, so we, like I said, we have two experiences now where the U.S. has directly intervened. My colleague Kurt Hackbarth is calling it
Two in a row,
preventative fraud
even.
or
Yeah.
preemptive fraud. So it's the kind of
Mhm.
fraud that doesn't happen at the ballot box, and it doesn't happen with the vote count. All of this is, intervention for me that I would say that it's very difficult to call this a free and fair election. I mean, when you have that kind of open interference, same with Venezuela, right? People always talk and point to Venezuela saying, oh, the irregularities in their process and the rest of it, but they never talk about the blockade that the United States has on Venezuela. That is direct interference. How can you possibly have free and fair elections when you're starving the government? How can you possibly have free and fair elections when you're directly calling on Honduran citizens to vote? I also, talking with social movement leaders, one of the people I interviewed, Rita, says, I'm scared, not as an Honduran, but as a citizen of this world. What's next? And in terms of what's next, well, we know we have the second round of the Chile presidential elections. It looks like the right-wing candidate, Gast, who is a very hard right candidate. He's an admirer of Pinochet. He's likely going to win unless there's something extraordinary happens. Surprises can happen, as we just saw here in Honduras, because the right-wing vote was so strong in the first round. We also have Colombia coming up next. And Colombia, I think, is going to be a really important test because that's always been sort of the prize jewel of the United States on the South American continent. It's a place where they've always felt very comfortable. It's where they have bases. It's where they've been really frustrated with Petro. And I think they're very eager to disrupt as much as possible, to tilt the election with open, flagrant interventions. They're likely to come. And I think that puts us as observers, as people who are following Latin American politics, in a really difficult position, because how do you reckon with that? How do you reckon with the United States, which is emboldened and is going to intervene and is going to continually do it? The sovereignty of the entire region is at stake. That's why I've always talked about, the need to defend sovereignty in Venezuela, in Nicaragua, in Cuba, now in Honduras, likely in Chile and in Colombia soon, because, we have to have, this is a sacred right to freely decide the destiny of our countries. And the U.S. interfering the way it does really makes it so we can't. And what do we do in the face of that? And I think there's a big challenge also for people inside the United States to really weaken the ability to do this kind of thing, and really actually kind of undermining the legitimacy that the United States seems to have, or the gall that they seem to have, to be able to intervene the way that they have now. Frankly, it's a very worrying circumstance.
Yes, indeed. Well, Jose Luis, thank you so much for joining us here. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yep.
Always good to be here. This is such a great program. I echo the words of your previous guest. Great interview, by the way. Really is important work.
I really appreciate that, and safe travels back to Mexico City.
Thank you.
All right. That'll do it for us here at Dropside News. Thank you so much